Some parents in Juba are complaining about the poor state of medical services and hygiene in government health facilities around the capital. The executive director of a non-profit known as Organization for Responsive Governance says he lost his baby due to a lack of attention from nurses. Winnie Chirino has more for VOA from Juba.
A 32-year-old mother who prefers to be identified only as Irene for fear of reprisal from the government says she lost her child at Juba's Sabbah Hospital due to what she calls a lack of seriousness from medical personnel. She says her newborn was diagnosed with malaria, but when she reached the ward where her baby was admitted, she found no nurse and waited about an hour for a nurse to arrive. Irene says she later handed over the admission form and a doctor's list of medication to the nurse, but the nurse instructed her to prepare a bed and wait.
When 9 p.m. came, we went to the nurse to remind her to come and, put the medicine on the baby. Again, the nurse said that she cannot put the medicine. The medicine will be given at 1 a.m. in the night. At that time, I was really so worried because the condition of the baby was worsening. The body was very warm. The baby was crying all along. So we waited until 1 a.m. At 1 a.m. again, we went and called the nurse. The nurse came and told us that the medicine will be given at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Irene says when the nurse again refused to administer the medication that morning, she tracked down the doctor who blamed her for not reminding the nurse to treat the baby. After another series of setbacks, her baby died. Afterward, Irene says the doctor did not bother giving an official discharge from the hospital.
So I sent for the doctor to be called to come and see the baby for the final time. There was no response. The nurse was found, but they said the only way is just to take the baby home. They did not appear when the baby died. So I was so disappointed because I know that if the nurse was to be there when we took the baby to the ward, at least my baby would have been helped.
Another mother, who we will identify as Tina for her safety, says Sabbah Hospital has helped her 4 children, but she says some of the hospital staff do not treat patients equally. Tina says women who come with their husbands are usually ushered in immediately, while other mothers who come early in the morning with their children queue in long lines. Tina says medical staff don't care about emergency cases.
Even if you have an emergency, you'll have to stand on line for long. They will look at when it's time for eating, they will close you people out, go and eat. When they finish is when they will open the doors and tell you people, hi, we continue. Another thing, the issue of medicine, I think they should change because on the counter they'll give only Panadol, these basic medicines.
Tina says some parents come to Sabbah Hospital with the hope of obtaining inexpensive medication, but often are forced to buy drugs from the hospital's pharmacy at the rate of a private hospital. Rajab Mohandis, executive director of the local NGO, Organization for Responsive Governance, says he took his 1-week-old baby to Sabbah Hospital last week, but was shocked to find that after the baby was admitted, he had to wait 3 hours before a nurse came to treat his child. And Mohandis says he was shocked to see the hospital's level of hygiene.
The toilets are extremely dirty, the washrooms, and most of the women bathe at night outside, not using the bathrooms because they are very dirty. And the wards are also very dirty, especially where my child was admitted. It was a special room. It was supposed to be really very clean, but it was very dusty, first of all. It had lots of remains of drips and cotton and spills of water all over. And the smell of the room itself was terribly bad. And so it's just not safe. It's not just healthy even to have a child in that place.
Mohandis says when he went to the hospital the following morning, he found the main gate locked. He says he found a woman waiting from the inside with her dead child. He says there was another man waiting from outside who said he arrived to the hospital at 3 a.m. with his sick child, but no one opened the gate. He says he transferred his baby to another health center where the doctor said the earlier medication was not well administered. Mohandis says the attitude of medical workers at Sabbah causes more harm than good.
Either make this hospital effectively functional or leave this hospital, so that people's hopes are not raised that there is a hospital for children where they would run to get help, and you get there and sit outside for 3 hours, you don't get access to the hospital. You go to the wards and sit for 3 hours, you don't get nurses. So either they do the work or they leave the work.
South Sudan in Focus contacted Sabbah Hospital Director Dr. Felix Nyungura for comment on this story, but Dr. Nyungura declined to respond, asking South Sudan in Focus to first obtain permission from the Juba State Health Ministry, which oversees Sabbah Hospital. Dr. Gamal Hassan Gum, Director General at the Juba State Ministry of Health, also declined to comment, saying his ministry and the hospital are still investigating the accusations published by Rajab Mohandis. For VOA News, I am Winnie Serino in Juba.
Let us know your experience in the hands of healthcare professionals in Juba. You can contact us by sending an email to southsudan@voanews.com. Again, the email is southsudan@voanews.com.